Do you guys hear words like creasing, oxidizing, fallout, baking in many beauty videos and yet you don't know their meaning? Well, today I'm going to help you with that. Hi, my name is Muskan and I am a professional makeup artist and today I'm going to help you understand what meaning of these words. So let's get started. So let's start with the first word, which is blend. What do you mean by blending? It basically means mixing two things together so that they look like one. Okay, when you apply makeup onto your face, you want it to look seamless, you want it to look very perfect, very blended, right? Okay, so what you do is you blend it very nicely, right? So I'll just show an example of what I actually mean. Okay, so supposingly I've taken this eyeshadow onto my hands, right? You can see it. If I just apply it like this here, will it look nice? No, it really won't. You will have to go ahead, blend it really nicely so that it looks very seamless, very blended and very nice. This applies for all the makeup products that you are going to be using. Foundation, highlighter, blush, anything that you are going to be using, it applies for all of them. Okay, so this is what you mean by blending. The second word is pigmentation. What do you mean by pigmentation? There are actually two meanings to it. Okay, generally means all the dark circles that you have around the eyes, all the darkness around your mouth, or if at all you have any other dark patches around your face anywhere. So that is what is called pigmentation. That area is a little bit more dark than your whole face, right? So that's what it means. It's more pigmented than the whole face. Okay, meaning of pigmentation is related to makeup products. Okay, so there are some products which are more pigmented and some which are less pigmented. So this word is mostly used for eyeshadows. It's used for again for all makeup products, but mostly for eyeshadows more than others. Okay, so see, can you see these two different colors right here? Okay, so one of them is pigmented, one is not. Okay, so this one here, okay, this one here is very less pigmented, while this one here, it's very pigmented. Can you see the difference, right? So this is what I mean by pigmentation. If a color is less pigmented, it means it has less color, and if a color is more pigmented, it means it has more pigment and more color. Okay, on to my next word with this is color payoff. Color payoff also exactly means the same. Some people use word pigmentation while some use color payoff. So if a color has better payoff, which is this one, it means it has a very nice payoff. If it has less color, it means it has very less color payoff. Okay, that's what you mean by color payoff basically. If a product has more color, it has better color payoff. If a product has less color, it has less color payoff, right? Now moving on to the next word, which is patting. Okay, patting is basically a motion which is used in foundations to blend. It can be used for other products also. It's mostly used for cream products rather than powder products. So what do you do is you take a beauty blender or any sponge, and what you do is you go in this motion like this. Okay, I'm not showing you any product here because it will take me a lot of time to actually blend it out. So I'm just going like this for you to understand the motion. While I want to show another word which is called buffing, and many people get confused with them together. So buffing is basically mostly happening with a brush. It also happens with a sponge, but it mostly happens with a brush. What you do is you take a foundation or any other product and you go in circular motions. Okay, you go in circular motions and you blend it out. So this is called buffing. While when you do it with a product like a blender or a sponge, in this motion you are patting it in. Okay, pat in. Okay, and that is buffing. So that is the biggest difference. Now why is that you use patting for cream products and buffing for powder products? Because when you use any cream product, you want it to sink in. Okay, so you go in this motion. While for powder products, you can't go like this. It will look all patchy and it will not look nice. So you want to go like this so that it gets distributed very nicely onto your skin and it doesn't look bad. So that's why the biggest difference is this between these two. Many people get confused. So here is a clarification of that. Word is oxidizing. What do you mean by oxidize? Oxidize basically means when after a point of time your face looks a little bit grey. This mostly happens because of foundations. Now why does that happen? There are mainly two reasons to it. Firstly, it can happen if you use a foundation which is very light than your actual skin tone. So with time, within 2-3 hours, it will go grey. Your face will start to look a little bit grey. Okay, so don't use foundations which are 3 to 4 shades light to your skin tone. It will not show up immediately, but after 2-3 hours, it will definitely look grey. Now the second reason to oxidizing is because of the formula of the actual product. Why does that happen? There are some formulations in foundation which will oxidize. No matter what you do, no matter which shade you get, they will oxidize. It's the problem of the foundation, not of how you are applying it, of which shade you are taking. Okay, so that's the main reason behind oxidizing. It happens due to chemical reactions with the air and everything. That's too much science. I don't want to get into that. Basically, it means that after a point of time, your foundation starts to look okay. Next word I'm going to be telling you about is creasing. Okay, so normally it is used for under eyes when you apply concealer on your under eyes. Now on our under eyes, usually we have very fine lines. Everybody does, no matter what age. When you apply concealer on your under eyes, they will crease. Most of them will crease. Some will crease in a shorter amount of time, some in more amount of time. So when the concealer actually starts to set in those fine lines, I'll show you some picture which is actually very visible. So this happens when you don't set it properly, or if you have really oily under eyes and the concealer will break no matter what you do. This leads me to my next point, which is baking. Okay, so to avoid this creasing, these lines under your eyes, many people opt the method of baking. Now what do you mean by baking? Baking is actually a makeup technique used by many people to avoid that. What do you do in this? You take a loose powder and you apply it in very high amounts over here, and you let it sit over there while you do the rest of your face. Okay, till you do the rest of your face, you don't touch it. You apply it in a very high amount. You don't apply it as like very little. You apply it very nicely. You cover whole of this area. Okay, so what happens is it bakes, it sets, it takes time to set into your skin while you do the rest of your face. You are done with the full face of your makeup. You just remove that excess. Okay, you just remove it like this. You bake the excess off. Now what does that do is you let the powder sink in, right? So what will happen is it will get really settled into those under eyes, and it will make sure it's into those fine lines, so that they won't crease as fast as they normally would, so that they won't make those lines, the concealer won't make those lines as fast as it normally would. Now this baking also has another benefit. It helps you clean out your fallout. Now that's my next word. What do you mean by fallout? Fallout is when you apply eyeshadow. Some eyeshadows, what they will do is while applying, supposing you are applying with a brush, right? Okay, this is a brush, I am applying. Then they will fall here. Some of the eyeshadow will fall here in this area. No matter what you do. Some eyeshadows do that, some eyeshadows won't. So when you apply it, it will fall out here. Okay. Now with baking, what happens is if you have applied lighter colors, now I'm not talking black or very dark shades, but lighter shades if you apply, and if those fall over here, when you dust off that bake, it will get removed with that. So if you are a person who likes to do their base first and eyes later, it's really helpful for you, because it will help you take out all of that fallout in one go. Otherwise, if that goes and settles here, it will be really tough task to actually remove. Okay, so this is what you mean by fallout. Any eyeshadow which falls on your face, it's a fallout that is skin. Okay. Next, what I'm going to be talking about today is dupes. What do you mean by dupes? There are high-end products which are available in the market, and there are drugstore products which are available in the market. Okay, so the high-end ones are obviously expensive, and the drugstore ones are a little bit cheap. So, for example, MAC Ruby Woo. It's a very cult favorite product. It's a very popular red lipstick around the world. So, obviously, there are many red lipsticks which are available in the drugstore market. Supposedly, if a color in the drugstore market, the red is very similar to the Ruby one, right? So, what it will be called is it's a dupe of Ruby. Now, this is also from a very namely brand. It's not your first copies or fake ones. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about genuine companies, but a way cheaper price than what of MAC or on any other high-end brand that you'll be talking about. Okay, so that product will be called a dupe. Why? Because it has the exact same color, maybe even the exact same formula, same wear, same everything. Just the brand is different, the packaging is different, and the name of it is different. So that is what is meant by a dupe. Okay, so did you understand the meaning of dupe? I hope you did. Coming on to the next word is T-zone. T-zone is basically an area on your face. This and this. The upper letter and the one. T. Did you get it? T. Why do you call this the T-zone? Because in mostly this area, for most people, the oil is generated the most throughout the day. So it gets oily the most throughout the day. So you will hear people saying, my T-zone gets oily very fast. My T-zone doesn't get oily that fast as some others. Something of that sort. So basically, this area of the face is what is called a T-zone. Next what I am going to be telling you about is kickback. Now this refers to a formulation of a product. Okay, this is mostly for powder products. What happens is there are some formulations which are a bit more powdery than others. So they give kickback onto the pan. I'll show you what I mean by that. Okay, supposingly this is the eyeshadow which gives a lot of kickback. I will just go like this here 2-3 times. Okay, and see the amount of product there is on the pan. Can you see that powder over there? That powder which is caused is because of kickback. I just did like this 1 or 2 times. It should not give that much amount of kickback, but it is doing because it's a very powdery product than other formulations of this type. Okay, now this is what you mean by kickback. This was all for today's video. I hope you liked it and found it helpful. If you have any other words which you don't know the meaning of and you want me to make a part 2, let me know in the comments down below. I'll make sure to mention those words if at all I make a part 2. And also follow me on Instagram. I take help of you guys to help me find the video recommendations on which you want me to make videos. So till my next video, take care, stay tuned, and bye bye.